3 years ago, it was December 2022. I was laying in bed, it was late, it was very late. I tried to sleep, I couldn't. I looked at my phone, I put it aside, I picked it up again. Earlier that day, a colleague sent me a link. You have to try this, he said. It was ChatGPT. I started typing questions, simple one at first, then more difficult ones. It did not respond with search results. It responded in conversations. I felt overwhelmed like the first time I was using Wikipedia or Google by the possibilities. And my whole life, I believed computers cannot talk. That was my model of reality, and now reality disagreed. I could not sleep much this night, not from fear, but from wondering. If I'm wrong about that, what else am I wrong about? About learning, intelligence, about my job, how to raise my children? This was the starting point for my journey, not only to understand these new systems, but also to understand myself. My wife and I, we are right now expecting our third child. Picture it. Right now, in the darkness of the womb, neurons organize themselves. A tiny arm is twitching, a leg, the signals reaching the brain. Before the baby even is born, a body map is created. Then, shock of birth, light, air, the world floods in. The brain tries to make sense out of it. Slowly, vision, touch, sound is merging into one reality. A few months later, the baby tries to reach a block, misses. Tries again, misses. It tries again, contact. The neuron that made it happen light up, get reinforced. Every small success rewires the brain. Sitting, walking, standing. More and more complex models are created. Experiences get compressed. Hot stove means pain. Mom's voice means safety. Mom's voice about hot stuff means trouble. At around the age of 2, something clicks. Now the brain starts to model itself. The brain is not just experiencing anymore. Now the brain is experiencing itself experiencing. A self is born. Years pass by, the child becomes a teenager. The teenager becomes a young adult. Thought by thought, more sophisticated mental models are built about life, society, the future. Then one day my child might walk into a beautiful venue, sits down, the lights are dimming, they are watching a TED Talk. But what are they actually seeing? What are you actually seeing right now? Close your eyes. Your brain sits in complete darkness. It never saw light. It never felt a touch. It just receives electrical signal. Open your eyes. You get some sensory clues and hallucinate this room, my face, my voice, my story. This is very important. You don't have raw access to reality. You don't see reality as it is. You only see reality as your mental models allow. This is very important. Think back of my children. They don't need the sleepless night. This journey from the womb, the neurons organizing themselves, until sitting in this chair and perceiving me right now speaking. This journey of my child is your journey. This journey works very well in a world that is stable. But our world today is not stable anymore. We are living right now through a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift means some new fundamental rules are changing. New rules apply. Rules that explain how the world works. What are these new rules? First, computers talk. Until a few years ago, only the human brain could formulate human language. Everything you consumed, every text, every human language was coming from another human brain. That's not true anymore. Now there's a second entity that also can produce human text. Second, these systems are general purpose. We don't have one AI for medicine, one AI for poetry, one for code. It's one system that can do it all. Third, we are not building these systems like engineers building a car engine. We are incentivizing them and they grow. That's the reason why the companies building generative AI, like large language models, are surprised themselves about their capabilities. And fourth, that's a huge one, they take decisions on their own. When you get a train ticket from a ticket machine, you might think this machine is taking decisions, but the machine is just executing rules that were given by a human. Large language models Don't execute pre-given rules. All these 4 rules together mean we live in a clear new paradigm, the paradigm of outsourcing thinking itself for the first time in humankind. Our power as humans always has been that we are able to store a thought outside the human brain. So Albert Einstein can have a brilliant thought, writes it down, and 100 years later I read it and build on it. But now for the first time, we make meaningful progress in outsourcing thinking. Now this paradigm shift is intimidating, it's threatening. We lose orientation, we are lost. But there's a huge upside to it. There's opportunity for every single one of you. Think about it. If you decide today you want to become a chess expert, how long does it take? A few years, maybe 10? If you today decide you want to become a medical expert, healing or treating cancer, how long does it take? Decades? For most of us, out of reach. If you decide today you want to become an AI expert, a person that completely understands these new systems, can use them, can build on them, how long does it take? Weeks, months at most. The path is very short, but it's steep. In a stable field, experiences is compounding into mastery. In an unstable field, experiences make you outdated. Now think of my children again. They do not need the sleepless night. The time they could talk, computers talk back. Having less experiences means you have less baggage. And I saw it several times, an unexperienced person, highly motivated, exceeding the expert, whose unlearning rate was not high enough. Being unexperienced is an advantage. That's an opportunity that each of you can grasp. Now, unfortunately, it is not enough to once update your mental models. You have to make it a habit. How? Let me share with you a technique that works for me. First, you observe your emotion. The emotions are like a radar. Where do you feel triggered? Which statement would you emotionally defend? They are guiding you to a core belief that is challenged. Second, ask several times why. Why am I triggered by this? Why is it threatening? Dig down to the core belief. Unfortunately, most of the people stop here. Don't stop here and defend your core belief. Go the last step. Acknowledge your core belief and change the perspective. Don't say AI can't. Say AI can't yet. Don't say it's impossible. Say I don't understand how it's possible yet. Take a step back. Take the big picture. Or make a thought experiment. Instead of closing the door, open the door for exploration. Let's do 2 examples. First, AI does not actually understand. It's just statistics. Maybe you agree with the statement. Maybe you would emotionally defend that statement. But why? AI, it's just doing next token prediction. It's just statistics. Yes, but why would you emotionally defend it? If understanding is just statistics, what does this mean about my understanding? Now dig deeper down. Why is this threatening to you? Maybe if my understanding is just statistics, I'm not special. Now that's a core belief. Acknowledge it. Then shift the perspective. Keep the door open. Say, AI uses statistics to create capabilities in a way I don't understand yet. You see what I did here? I keep the door open. This leads to following questions. What is understanding? What is intelligence for us humans? Second example. Human intelligence is different, is superior. Maybe you agree with the statement. Maybe you would emotionally defend that statement. But why? Okay, Gen AI is different than us humans. Yes, but why is it important for you that it's different? If AI can write better code than I, if AI can write better poetry, if AI can paint better pictures, if AI can perform better research, what's left for me? Okay, one level further. Why is this threatening? My whole life I trained my brain to be valuable. Or one level further down, I perceive my value from being smart. Now that's a powerful core belief. Acknowledge it. It served you very well in a world that rewards being smart. It motivates learning, skill development. But then shift your perspective. Now do a thought experiment. What are you capable of without the collective knowledge of humankind, without the tools humans built over centuries, you might come to the humble conclusion that your value, the power of humans, does not come from one brain being very smart, from being collective. We are one node in a vast network. Look left, look right. You're only one node in a vast network that spans thousands of years. You might arrive at the conclusion that my value doesn't come from being smart, but from being part of society, from being a father, from being a mother, from being a partner or a friend. Now, these are just two examples. You will find your own. The technique is the same. Use your emotion as a radar, dig down deeply to the core belief, and then shift the perspective. I was telling you three things today. First, I told you how the brain works. Experiences are compressed into mental models. Then I told you we live through a paradigm shift. And I shared a technique how to update your mental models. Now remember my sleepless night? This was my first contact with a new paradigm where my models were challenged. You will have your moment. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe in a year from now. Your moment will come. And then you have two choices. You can choose safety, comfort, let the old models snap you back. Or you can choose to lean in, do the work, and update. In your whole life, you roughly have 200 million conscious thoughts. That's all you got, 200 million conscious thoughts. Every expression, every achievement you are ever proud of is encoded in at least one of these 200 million thoughts. Don't waste your thoughts on mental models from a world that doesn't exist anymore. Update your mental models, not just your tool. Thank you.